Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Morgan's Den, episode 8. Just enjoying a nice, beautiful summer, spring morning here in Chicago, Illinois. Listening to the birds chirp, smelling the fresh rain in the air. So as you can see, we've been pretty busy. We've been gone for a few weeks. Just been taking care of life. It gets a little carried away sometimes, but we managed to find some time to dedicate to the Morgan's Den and make things a little bit more enjoyable around here. So here we went ahead and planted some new plants. Aren't these marvelous? I got a few more empty pots over here, and then we'll get those filled at some point. We have our beautiful plants. Look how green this is. Isn't that great? Remember Colette sent me that Irish moss? Look at that. Look how beautiful that's sprouting. Absolutely gorgeous. We have our tomatoes are coming in. A little bit of parsley. This is some store-bought moss I put out here. Plant's doing much better. And we got Morgan a little bit of cat grass. Look how beautiful that's sprouting up. A little bit of ranging around. Planted some more plants, as you can see. We have this beauty here who's been absolutely just flourishing. A little bit more of the Irish moss from Colette from the west of Ireland. How beautiful is that? Just peeking up in there. Look how green that is. You can really see how it's starting to come to life. Isn't that fantastic? Absolutely marvelous. Got a little orchid here. Sprouting. Look how green her leaves are. You got this lovely darling. Starting a new one here. Sadly, this lovely beaut, a few weeks ago here in Chicago, we had an awful hailstorm and she got beat up pretty bad, as you can see. So we had to go ahead and trim off the tops and get her a little bit pruned. Hopefully she'll make a nice recovery. A little bit more moss there from the west of Ireland. Thank you, Colette O'Neill. You're absolutely fantastic. So as you can see, folks, I went and hung up my flags. Happy Pride, everybody. It is Pride Month here in the United States, where we celebrate the identity of being yourself without persecution or strife or having to deal with the idealisms of not being able to be who you are. So happy Pride Month. So I went ahead and hung up these lovely triangle flags. A little bit more on that side there. Went ahead and as you can see, our flower beds of wildflowers are sprouting up nicely. Put a little bit of moss in there to kind of help contain the moisture, and the dirt tends to be a little dry sometimes. Went ahead and hung up my side baskets here. We went ahead, the same seeds that I put inside these flower beds, I went ahead and placed inside here with a little bit of moss as well. Hoping that those will sprout out at some point. Isn't that lovely? Absolutely fantastic. Look at this. It's just a little piece of heaven, a little piece of earth. Just made my patio. Absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to get a few more plants there for the bathroom window and then for this empty pot there. And then essentially I believe the patio will be complete, which would be fantastic. So as I said, folks, we've been quite busy here at Morgan's Den. You know, life has been quite the handful lately. I'm just sipping on some coffee. Morgan's running around in the background somewhere. I don't know exactly where she's at this morning. I know she's around. The question would be where. Not sure. Hopefully she's not inside. It's too beautiful to be inside on a day like today. But you can imagine, you know, life has just been a little crazy around here. We went ahead and opened the exhibition Louder Than Words at the Museum of Broadcast Communications. Runs Tuesday through Sundays from 10 to 5. 10 to 6, excuse me. So if you have a chance and you're in downtown Chicago, please come by the Museum of Broadcast Communications and check out our lovely new exhibit. It's called Louder Than Words, about politics and rock and roll, and how rock and roll has influenced the idealisms of politics. That runs until Labor Day, which is fantastic. Memorial Day had passed. That was fun. When Memorial Day comes around here in Chicago, it's also International Mr. Leather, which is a leather competition based on gay culture and how it has inspired and grown through time. Again, it is Pride Month here in Chicago, and part of Pride Month is recognizing the identities of each other and understanding and respecting one another. As time has gone by, though, I've just been so busy. Life tends to get a little carried away sometimes. I wanted to take Robert home to meet the family, but unfortunately, due to circumstances with work, I had to work and stay here in the city. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get back to Michigan this past weekend. But such is life. It happens. Morgan. I think Morgan's around here somewhere, being a little bugaboo, I'm sure. She's been hiding upstairs a lot lately. Maybe she's up there. I'm not sure exactly. But as you can see, it's a little wet. But it's been quite a lovely morning, I must say. I got up probably about 6:30. And it's just been going strong. I finished up the laundry and made some coffee. There's my coffee there. In fact, let me go get a little more sip there. But as time goes by, that's one thing I want to talk about in this episode. We talked a lot about different subjects thus far, and we can't allow time to take us away from what's important, whether it's self-care, whether it's a project that we haven't been able to get back to, or we just haven't had time for ourselves, or anything along that line. We always have to remember that, even though life does get crazy, we have to respect ourselves, and we have to make time for ourselves and make time for our loved ones and really cherish the time that we get to spend with each other. We shouldn't allow ourselves to become so consumed that we forget the important things in life, which is understanding each other, taking time for yourself, taking time for your familiars, making sure that you guys really find the wholesomeness that you deserve to be well in your life. Look how green these plants are. I just can't get over the rain that made these guys all so happy. Absolutely darling. There's been few more progressions inside the Morgan's Den, but it's just such a nice day. I don't really feel like going inside. And look who's here, Miss Morgan LaFay. Hi, Morgan. Say hello to the viewers. She says, hello, everybody. Good morning from Chicago. How is everyone doing today? Meow, meow. Kitty, kitty, meow, meow. So, as you can see, a lot of work has been done on the patio, which has been fantastic. Let me just pop my head inside here real quick and show you some things that have happened inside the den. Now, mind you, I haven't had much time to really do much because of the projects going on and that type of thing, but it's just nice to, when I do have a spare moment, to be able to come in and clean the house. As you can probably see, I cleaned up my whole dining table, so I can actually have guests over for dinner now. Oh my goodness, can you believe it? I can't. Unfortunately, because of the lack thereof time, I haven't had much time to really focus on the terrarium again, but we'll get that in shape sooner than later now that the weather is cooperating. And we'll get that guy set up over there too. Let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and just walk down the hall here. It's a little dark, but pardon the darkness. Sorry, sometimes, folks, you have to go through the dark to get to the light. And that's another lesson in time. You can't just be consumed by one moment. You have to be consumed by all the moments and be able to spread yourself accordingly without being too thin. So as you can see, we had a new addition here. We have a Liberty Ducky, which is fantastic, with next to the little Captain America Ducky. So now they're little friends of America. Happy Pride Month, America. Went through and did some cleaning in the bedroom. Got my bed in order. did some laundry. I got a little bit more laundry here to do, which we'll take care of later. All in due time. All in due time. We can't let ourselves be too consumed by one project or another, which has been the major issue lately. As nice as it would be to say, hey, yeah, you know, I've had time to do this, or I've had time to do that. You see how I turn off the lights when I leave a room, too. Never leave energy running, folks. That's part of the problem. Conserve energy. Do not overspend. The earth only has an excess amount that we can really get to. But, you know, as time goes by, we have to remember, again, I keep saying I'm so busy, but, you know, the reality of the matter is, it doesn't matter how busy you are, you have to take time for yourself, and take time to make things right, make your home your home. I came back outside because the weather out here is absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, I think Mother Nature has been inspired by the growth that I've been doing on the patio, because it seems like a lot more moss is formulating here on the stairs and around on the edges. As you can see, it's kind of green here and along the steps there. There's a little bit more greenness, as you can kind of see over here. So I think Earth is happy with me, which is fantastic. And that's another thing too, folks. You know, it's one thing to identify as gay, straight, bi, trans, whether it's male to female, male to female to male, what have not. You have to remember that identifying yourself doesn't mean that you change who you are. It means that you just accept who you are, and that part of that is being able to understand that when you're not feeling properly inside, then it's time to make the change. And time does not stand still for any one reason. Time consistently moves. A little bit more moss there, as you can see. It's doing so well. I'm so glad the moss is sprouting properly. That makes me very happy. But in order to identify, we have to be able to identify ourselves and understand that when it comes to talking about what life expectancies are, there is no life expectancies. Life is how you choose to create it, how you wish to make it happen. Just like plants, you know, you can't force them to be a certain way. They just grow and they live their lives, just like we do. Yeah, they may have a little less strife, but, you know, such is light. Look at that light. Look at that. The sun is beaming perfectly down here right now. I feel so content. And that's just it, folks. If you're feeling stressed and you need to take time out and you need to find an outlet of relaxation, gardening is a great thing to do. And it's a prime example. As you can see, I mean, it doesn't take much. A few seeds, some soil, and look at all the greenery just pops right up. It's fantastic. I'm going to pause here for a minute. Terribly sorry, folks.